I've lived here since 1979. I found this place by accident and decided to camp here with my girlfriend in 1979. She was a mountaineer. 30 years later, we're still here. This is where I decided in the world to settle down. I didn't know how long because it was unauthorized occupation of Crown land and the whole feeling of being illegal. That's something we had to deal with, whether or not we were going to get eviction notice or whatever. And that kind of stayed with me for a few years. And as I got over that, then it became more home. I left home because I didn't get along with my dad. And I got as far away as possible from family because of all the tragedies associated with my childhood. I ended up going to South America for a year, and then when I come back I went as far north as I could go. That was to Dawson City, and there was something like I was getting away from. Back then I never thought I'd ever settle down, that I'd always be a traveller. When I come here, kind of grew into the place, and my daughter was born here in the Kootenays, so that's probably the reason that it made it home for me. I worked for a hay rancher up there. That's where I first used horses in BC, was helping an old rancher put up hundreds of acres of hay. It just brought me back to my childhood. My father, he was a horseman, and helped him when I was like 10 years old. Not that I wanted to do it back then, but I learned. For a person to learn horses out of a book is pretty difficult. A lot of people I find that with their first introduction to the horse, they treat it like a machine. Like you say whoa and the brakes are on, you know. To me it's more like being on a boat. There's always movement going on, and you always have to be in touch with the movement with horses. So it takes a lot of focus. So if you get angry with your horses, you're in trouble. I think it's a lesson right in the horses. It keeps you humble, because you know, with a tractor, people get on a big machine and they have that power. With a horse, you have to be polite. You have to ask them. You have to get their willingness and attention. When I have people that come want to learn something of me, I just come and watch me. I'll show you how I do it. That's where I start with people, that I have demand that people be observant. To actually explain stuff to people, I have a hard time with that, and that's not the way I like to do it. If you're in the field and I'm doing things a certain way, I'll show you how I do it, and then I'll see how you get it. I remember thinking when I grow up, I'm never going to do this. And a lot of people felt like that. A few events in my life happened to make me realize, hey, that was a good life. And now that I appreciate that I had them experiences, because they give me endurance. I think as I got older, I got, things become clear to you, what motivates you more, and you get more honest with who you are and your limits and all that. And I have to be in that zone just to keep doing what I do. I've shoveled a lot of manure and dirt, and it's all with my hand. But in my childhood, you had to. If your cow died or you didn't get your crops or whatever, you would be in starvation time. Because, people would help each other out, but grudgingly. They would rather help the gypsies on the road than some lazy neighbour. There was no sympathy for that. When we look at the past, we see the good parts of it, eh? And, I had spent a lot of my time in them good years where, I was depressed about stuff and thought too much about what's happened to the world. And realising that I'm helpless. If I don't have a tree planting job, what am I going to do? I'm getting too old for it, and I don't believe in it. So when I started growing food, I come to realize that this is really important, to feed my family and my friends and people around me, and that over the years it become an issue. It's become more important the longer I did, and I have a better understanding of what's really happening and the whole idea that we have given up our power to do stuff. My parents left without second thought. Their way of a self-reliant lifestyle, a little mixed farm with, even though it was poverty, with their own efforts. They didn't have a mortgage, they didn't have any of this stuff. It was hard to find money and so on, but they had some power in their lives. We've been industrialized on all levels, and when you have that realization, you know, we feel helpless.